What's going on, guys? Briar Rabbit here. Today we're doing another edition of Weekend Update. Today is 1/17. It's Friday. And I got a lot to talk about today. I want to talk about the PS Vita. I want to talk about the YouTube policy shift that everybody was talking about at the end of last year and see how that's affected us this year. Also want to talk about some PS Vita games, so let's get into it. The first thing I want to talk about is the PS Vita. Obviously, I got the new hardware today. Oh, before I talk about the PS Vita, I want to talk about the gameplay that you're watching all around me. This is Guacamelee. So this game is a cross-buy game for the PS Vita and the PS3. I originally bought this game for the PS Vita. The gameplay you're actually seeing is on the PS3, and I was so impressed by the game that I really wanted to use it for gameplay. So even though my main playthrough has been on the PS Vita, and the game plays fantastically on the Vita, the gameplay you're watching is on the PS3 because I can record the PS3, and I really wanted it to be the Weekend Update game of the week. So I am really digging the PS Vita and Guacamelee. Guacamelee, if you haven't played a Castlevania type game or a Metroid, they call these games like Metroidvania games. This one is a spectacular example. The graphics, as you can see, are really rich. They're really fun to look at. The gameplay is fantastic. The combat in particular is very, very deep for this kind of game. Normally what you get for these kinds of games is a one attack kind of thing. Either in Metroid you shoot, maybe you have like a freeze ray and you can use that to combo with your blaster. In Castlevania maybe you have like a secondary weapon and a whip or a sword. But this is much deeper than what I'm used to. There's quite a intricate combo system that you can link different kinds of attacks and throw enemies up in the air and combo them while they're in the air and then throw them at other enemies. There's really a very deep combo system that I like quite a bit. They also use a combo system for jumping, so you'll notice that in the gameplay there's a lot of times where I have to do certain things to get to different levels or different platforms, and I find that to be very interesting. On the PS Vita it can be a little bit difficult just because the positioning of the triggers that you have to use while jumping can be a little complex. On the PS3 I found it just a little bit easier. Also, since the screen is bigger on the PS3, it's a little easier to time those jumps and time the switches between the dark world and the light world. There's a really interesting mechanic between the dark world and the light world, and as you progress in the game, you can actually switch between them at any time. I find it very fun. I'm really enjoying the game, so enjoy the gameplay down there. Speaking of the PS Vita, I'm actually really enjoying the PS Vita. When I first got it, I was like, oh my god, this thing is like a medieval torture device. You want to play it because the games are fun, but man, it is super uncomfortable. It's just so small, and the buttons are so small, and your thumbs are so close to them. But I actually invested in like a $15 grip. I went over to GameStop. They had one in the store. Although it was in the back room, you should see their Vita display. It's an end cap wide. That's all the Vita stuff they got in there. So obviously the Vita's not selling too well, which may account for why I got one on clearance at Best Buy. But the games that I've been playing so far have been really good. I have downloaded the new Uncharted game. I haven't gotten into it yet because I bought Tearaway, the retail version of Tearaway, so that I could play something right away, because I knew that downloading stuff from the PSN network may take a while. That's been my experience with PSN. So I bought Tearaway as a retail product. I was able to just put the cartridge right in and start playing, and that game is really fun. There's a lot of very new ideas in that game. You use the touch screens in very new ways, the back panel, touch panel as well. I find that game to be very fun. I wish that I could record gameplay off of this besides just like pointing a camera, which really doesn't look that good. It's really unfortunate that Sony didn't include some way to get video out of it. I wish that there's a way to actually play like your PS4 games on the Vita and play PS3 games on the Vita. It'd be nice if that was bi-directional, meaning that I could play Tearaway on the big screen, control it with the Vita, but be playing it on the big screen, just have the video streaming to either my PS4 or PS3. I think that'd make a great addition to the system. It just add a little bit more versatility, and they'd get the added benefit of having a lot of those games get some exposure on YouTube. So I don't know if they're really planning on anything like that. There is a new version of the Vita. I think it's the Vita 2000. I got the Vita 1000. I really wanted to get the Vita 1000 because it has the OLED screen. The new one's going to have a more standard LCD screen. And while I did not have a lot of experience with OLED, I knew that it was something that I really wanted to experience. This is going to be the cheapest way for me to get one in my pocket. I use an iPhone, not a Android phone, and the iPhone uses LED still. A lot of Android phones, high-end ones especially, use OLED. So it's nice. I think the OLED screen is really good looking. I'm glad I got the PSP 1000 version. Or the PS Vita 1000 version. It's kind of funny how they didn't change the name of that enough. They kept it similar enough that you could still get it confused, but not similar enough that you knew it was like a direct descendant. I would have preferred like PSP 2 or PlayStation. I don't know. I don't know. I don't like PS Vita as a name. It's just a little too confusing to me. But I'm liking the system quite a bit, especially now that I've got the grip. It's really nice. The PlayStation Store has a very deep discount going on right now. They have a promotion where it's 14 for 14, which is 14 heavily discounted games for 2014. And if you're a PlayStation Plus member, which I am, because on the PlayStation 4 you need that to play multiplayer games online, there even is a heavier discount. So some of the stuff that I've bought is Proteus. I bought Guacamelee. Proteus was a very significant discount. I've noticed that Killzone Mercenaries is on there at a very good discount. There's a bunch of games that are really deeply discounted, and the games that I bought that I've been kind of looking at and I downloaded for free because they were part of the free on PlayStation Network promotions over like the past few months, because I kind of knew I was going to get a Vita. Those were all just sitting there ready for me to download for free, which was really nice. That's how I got the Nathan Drake game, and I'm excited about that. Even though I haven't played it yet, I've heard that it's not as good as the PS3 versions of the game, but it's still Nathan Drake. You know, I really love the Uncharted games. They just make me feel kind of like an Indiana Jones in video game form. I really enjoy those games. So I'm looking forward to getting to that one. But Tearaway and Guacamelee have been really absorbing me. Guacamelee especially. I find that game to hit all the right notes as far as nostalgia goes, but also updating the gameplay. You know, it's kind of funny because last month I was talking a lot about the new Zelda, A Link Between Worlds. And in a very similar way, Guacamelee kind of, it goes back to the past and pulls that gameplay out, but where Guacamelee differs from Zelda is that there's a brand new world to explore. It's all new characters. It's a very cool, it's a cool new experience, but it has some of those throwbacks to old school gameplay. There's a lot of Metroid callbacks. There's even like unrelated games like Castle Crashers and stuff is in there. You know, it's a lot of fun. It's if you're familiar with video games, you're going to see a lot of in-jokes, even Mario jokes, like your princess is in another castle, kind of stuff like that, which is a little well-worn, but it's still fun to see. I also wanted to talk about the YouTube policy shift. So everybody was talking about this at the end of last year, that in January we're going to see a big policy shift from YouTube. And you saw a lot of big YouTubers get a lot of content ID claims because they had music in their videos. And then we were also talking about how YouTube was going to say that they were going to start holding back gaming videos. And we're in January, and this is the date when YouTube said they were going to do this, but I personally haven't noticed any difference on my channel. My videos get uploaded, they get processed, and then they're, immediately available. So I think that there was much ado about nothing on that front. So, I understand that a lot of people think that controversy is going to get views, and, that's understandable. A lot of people do want to know what the latest controversy on YouTube is. But this one ended up being not much of anything, not nearly as big a deal as the comments section moving over to Google+, which I'm really happy about because, obviously I like making videos, and I'm glad that my ability to make videos and get them out right when I make them has not gone away. That was really what I was worried about, is like if I heard some big news or if I had some breaking story that I really wanted to talk about, or something that was happening like right now, I really wanted to get that video up like as soon as possible. I didn't want to wait 4 hours, 6 hours, or even 24 to 48 hours to post that video. So I'm glad that it doesn't seem to have affected my ability to get videos out. I think that most of that drama was really over nothing, and that's good. So that is going to do it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you guys have any questions for me, this is the place to leave them. I'll be answering questions in more episodes of the weekend update. This is really going to be more of a place for me to just talk about my thoughts, any questions that I want to answer from you guys. It's really going to be a more free-form kind of vlog experience, but I'm going to try and feature as much kind of different gameplay in it as I can. Any kind of game that I'm playing that isn't Call of Duty, which most of my videos really are Call of Duty, any kind of games that I'm playing that aren't Call of Duty, they're really going to be featured here. So check this out if you're interested in that kind of thing. If you have any questions for me, leave them in the comments section below, and I'll answer them next week. And thanks, guys, for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. So if you haven't followed the channel in the past, you know that I've been on the fence about this system for quite a while. I've been talking to Beastly Gamer about it, and I finally broke down and got it.